Stella here. I'm going to do another journal. I've just discovered that I like making journals. This is going to be my cover, and I printed out two of them because I will need to cut one of them apart. Okay, that's that. Now here are my papers. I created them with a garden in mind. I love gardens, but I'm not a gardener, not by any stretch. And I think my succulents out the back are just surviving on their own. My indoor plants are hanging by a thread. No, they're blooming. Okay, so these are A5 size, so that I can fold them into my pages. So we've got a fence post there with lilac flowers, a fence post on this one with pink roses. On the back we've got this lovely fence with pink roses. For the most part, this is on the back of every page. Now, I also have these papers up in my Etsy store, or they will be shortly, and there's also some A4 portrait of each one of these, which can be used for, doesn't have to be a journal, it can be a photo album. Okay, so we've got that one, and now we've got, again with the faded garden in the background, we've got the fence posts, empathy and happiness. Again on the back we've got that. And the same, different fence posts, like this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I made them different, so we're not all the same, just with a different sign. We've got laughter and patience, which are all things needed in a family. Gratitude. Got some little birds on that one. Lovely pink tree. The garden is in behind is always very similar per page, but there are subtle differences, and it fades nicely, so you've got plenty of room for journaling. Strength and kindness. We've got an apricot and a, what would you call that? Maroon? No. It's a dark pink, anywho. Then we've got inspire and create. Oh, and I've trimmed these down to, should we go inches? Let's go inches. It's about 11 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/16, or 28.3 centimeters. And then we have courage and love. And this is just the plain cottage garden. Very faded, very muted. The same as that one. Yeah. Empathy and happiness. Got the posts on that one. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 posts on that one. Patience and laughter. Again, family and gratitude, strength and kindness, inspire, create, courage and love. So I'm going to have 2 signatures, so I've doubled up on everything. And then I've got some of these. This is a blue one, and behind is the pink. And what else have we got? The pink and the blue. So let's divide them into 2. That one. We've got courage, inspire, create, strength and kindness, family gratitude, laughter, patience. Okay, I think that is one lot. Should be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's see what this one does. It's 8 including this one here. So we're going to divide these now. The blues, I think I only printed out 6 of them, so it's 3 per page. It's 3. 3 per signature, so, and then 5 of these, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So each one is a signature. Okay, I am using A5 box board. This is 900 GSM and it's about 1.5 millimeter thick. Yep. And I haven't decided on my spine yet. I will do that once I have made up my my signatures. So we're going to do the signatures first before we do this. And I'm going to be binding my book with, actually I'm not sure whether I'm going to do this or not. I'm not sure. Quandary. And a question for later. And I've got my string elastic. And this little pair of scissors is not my friend because it stabbed me. Okay, let's get into our arranging here. I'll have that first, and then one of those. And then we'll have a blue one. Laughter and patience. One. Family and gratitude. Strength and kindness. Blue one, blue one, that, and that. We're going to do them separately, all them separately. I'm thinking I'm having that on the outside. So that's our first page. And this one doesn't matter. Again, I'm going to go with these from the most part on the outside. I printed these out on 120 GSM copy paper. Which is a nice thickness for writing. And also it takes the colour printing really well. Anything below that and you might be a little bit bleeding to the inside, I think. Not sure, but I would suggest maybe. I'm thinking of having this one in the middle, so no, we'll have it this way. So that's our first signature. Now, I don't trim here because then I'll be cutting away some of my designs and perhaps some of these notices, but it depends on the paper. If you're using something that doesn't really have an optical particular design towards the edge, then you could. But I'm not going to do that. And folding this one in exactly the same manner. Oh, I haven't sorted them, have I? Okay, happiness. One of them after indications. And that. Family and gratitude. just like to have them not quite symmetrical, but I don't like all these all clumped together. I like something in between that's a little different. That one, and then we've got that one, and that one, and then that one, and that one. Excuse me. Okay, start from this end. Not being a journaler myself, I can't fathom my sudden interest and love of making journals. I think one reason is my handwriting is just so shocking. Even I wouldn't be able to read it back. Plus, what would I say? It would probably be mostly about crafting. That's my main thing. But then I've got a scratch pad for that. I'm going to be putting some more of my memory books up on my Etsy shop soon. It's just getting the time to actually put them up. I have to take them out of their bubble wrap and packaging. I keep them very safe. Righto. Okay, so I've got a different one on each. I'm quite happy with that. In fact, I'm very happy with that. So, let's just grab our hat elastic, it's called. Let's take those devil scissors and cut it. Okay, let's see how much we need. That is probably tight enough, but I'm going to take double that just in case. Okay, so that's that done, and let's just get our ruler. And we're going to see what size. If I want it really open, which I don't, we're going to go with a spine of, say, 1 1/4. Do I want 1 1/4? Do I want just one? No, I'm going to go 1 1/4. I know I've got a book press somewhere. Where are you? Not handy. If I find my book press, I will put this in there. Set that aside. So now our length is A5, but I do believe that is just a fraction more than 8 1/4. So 8 1/4. I think it's just a hair, but that hair might matter and it might not. If it's even cuttable, just a little bit. Okay, we want 1 1/4. Save all our boxboard pieces. Might need that. Also, I have got all these amazing cutter parts. Some butterflies. These can be beautiful tuck spots if you're making a photo album. I wouldn't use a great deal of these in a journal. Patience, each one has got that piece. And then we've got some strips, just some single fence posts. These can be great for, what do you call them, waterfalls, for your closure for waterfalls. Awesome for that. Again, tuck spots and some butterflies. There are lots of these. And that could be a lovely little pocket, little tuck spot actually. So I just did mostly the fence posts. A belly band, go that way or that way. Now this one I had an idea for, and I might even use it in this. I'm going to put it onto some thicker cardstock, probably 250 GSM paper, and I'm going to take it, give it a half-inch, add a half-inch hinge on here so I can fold it over to create a pocket or tuck spot for a photograph to go in. So a nice photograph would tuck in there. Anywho, that's all my cutter parts. As I said, great for mostly an album. So we'll put them away for now. Now, how am I going to cover these? I'm thinking of doing the lay flat method that's around everywhere. I do believe it's Country Craft Creations that created it in the first place. and I'm kind of looking at that. So I'm going to come back in a jiffy with some positive idea. You right now I'm gone. Okay, I have been dicking around with some options here. Okay, this is what I was going to use for my covers. So what I've done is I've created on my files A4 and separate pieces, so I can do the lay flat method, and then there's my spine. So it's all part of the same image. So what I'm going to do with these, waste not, want not, and I'm just going to, we're just going to fold. And create a cover. Oh, we need to take a bit more off there. Okie dokie, where's my mark? See how that goes. Lovely. And the same for you. That's a nice flow on from the front cover. I like it. So, these are going to be our covers. Let's just get rid of that. Now I've got some adhesive sheets which we're going to be using, so let's get to it. Okay, I can cut these down. So I'll just get rid of that border. And you can see they're going to fit beautifully in there. Just pretty much equal on the sides. So this one, plenty. There you go. So let's do the front. I've got a nice piece of adhesive sheet here. Some spare pieces that I can use. And we can use glue as well. finished in. Okay, glue, where are you? Here we go. Actually, probably didn't need to go all over the edge. Okay, we've got a scant ½ inch there. Okay, let's quickly cut away some corners. I'm really loving this cover. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. Okay. For this one, just bringing my little bin closer so that I don't clutter up my desk with rubbish like I normally do. Sometimes it doesn't want to play, so you have to be a little bit tenacious with it. Come on. That's the way. as for any spaces, just add glue. That's straight. Don't forget, I'm leaving a little bit on the corners to cover the box board. It's usually about 1/8 of an inch, but if you've got thinner board, you don't need that much. Thicker board, you need more. Okay, here is our back. Oops, daisy, that's our back. And our front. Beautiful. Okay, so now this looks like a good fit. It's a perfect fit. Let's take some off the bottom. Okay, centre that as best I can. I'm not measuring. So now, oh, I hope I can remember how to do this. How do we do this? We fold this over, and then get a sharper bone folder and push it in to the box board, and then out. And you'll find that will go in. You can see that's not straight. That'll go in a little bit so that when it's folded, it's not going to show. Okay, so let's do this side as well. Tuck it right into that box board and then out. Again with this side, tuck right in, and we are going to glue that. Push, tuck it in, and push. So, now I don't like a lot of bulk here, so I like to take off some of this. I don't like all that bulk. So what we are going to do, first up, we're going to put some glue here. And see, we've created that little bump there as well. Push that in. Now with my deadly little scissors, I'm just going to take some of this bulk away. It doesn't have to be super duper accurate or anything like that. I'm just taking that away. Let's just put some glue in there to fold that down. You're pushing the glue into the box board at the side there. Now let's just trim off some of this extraneous paper. Okay, now I am going to put some glue just on the side of that box board. Oops. So that when I do this, it is going to glue. It's worth doing this extra, going to this extra trouble. You can see we are flush. Let's go to the other side now. just make sure both sides are absolutely flush. Okay, now we are going to add our front and back covers. And how flush is that? That's beautiful. So I am going to put some double-sided tape in the middle. And then the rest is going to be with glue. So get that stuck down. And now let's glue. I'm going to put my ruler, but I'm going to put a piece of the box board right up against that. And that's where I can put my glue. Because you don't want your glue to go over to past that. So you've got that little bit of space there. And then I will put a bit of glue on this side. Okay. Now push it in, make sure it's straight, and push it in towards that flat ridge. Flip it over quickly. Just have a little bit of lift there. And look how beautiful that is. Make sure we've got this the right way up. That's it. And then push it in. Got an almost continuation here, which I'm really loving. a beautiful, beautiful cover. Gorgeous. Okay, now we're going to have to cover the inside. Okay, what have I done for the inside? I've been playing around, and I could have one of those this side, and I could have this one on that side, or that's too short. So I'm going to go with these. So I'm going to cut them, the borders off first. And then we'll see what we need. I printed these out on 250 GSM copy paper. Okay, I could go just put a pencil mark down there because that looks like my halfway mark. Yeah, it's a little off, but there you go. So I could have mostly this. Or all of this and less of that. Let's go with all of this. So I'm going to double this. So we want it to be pretty close to the edge, less than 1/8 of an inch by 7. So 7 inches by 8 1/8. 7 by 8 and what are you doing? Seven by 8 and 1/8. Now let's get the old sugar out. Take some off this side. 7 by 8 and 1/8. Okay, now I could have taken it off the top and left a bit of garden there. Silly woman, you didn't do that. So this is going to be 7. I'll have to do the same with this one. I actually meant to do it the other way. 8 1/4. That's nice, and that's nice. I'm not sure that I want it so far over there. So I'm thinking thinking six and a half rather than 7. And 6 and a half. That's better. A little bit of overhang there. Let's just trim that off. Where'd you go? Just a little bit, just a hair that's going to be annoying to trim. Anywho, let's get to it. I think that looks pretty alright. A little bit down a little bit. Too late, we're stuck. Okay, before I pull it all the way, too late. Before I pull it all the way across, I do want to do this. That little sharper one. Oops. Now I can pull it off. Beautiful. before we go any further, we will just see what happens when we butt these up against each other. And we are going to have a slight overlap, or we're going to trim. I'm going to trim. Trim a touch more, only a little at a time. In case I trim too much off. That's good. Okay, let's just get rid of that piece. Okay, this one does need a bit of glue. We are butting it up against that one. Oops, I forgot to do my eek. That should be alright. Now, I am going to put something in here because they're obviously different colour backgrounds slightly. So let's pick one of these. I'm just going to take off the borders and then we can work with them. Don't need that. Okay, so my spine is 1 1/4, so I'm just going to go 1 1/8 for this. These two will be nice, 1 1/8. It's only going to give me one. That's fine. Nice. By, I think we had 8 1/4, didn't we? 8 1/8, sorry. Eight and 1/8. Okay, now I've said before that this double-sided sheet is not like sharing. So if you're going to have one that's overlapping, take the backing off first. Luckily I had a narrow piece there. These adhesive sheets are a pretty strong adhesive, so if you do put one overlapping the other, oh boy. It's very hard to get them apart. Okay, in the middle. Oh, I do love that. That looks glorious. Gorgeous. Okay, so that is our cover. Now what we want to do, we want 2 holes, top and bottom. Okay, so first up we see how we fit in there, and we've got a goodly amount on either side, which is great. A quarter inch. That can be rubbed out later, and then I'm just going to eyeball where I want my circles to go. I think I might pop this one just a little bit further in, maybe to there. So we've got middle of that we've got 3/8 from this pretty paper, not from the edge, although we should do it from the edge, shouldn't we? But from the paper we've got 3/8 of an inch. And 3/8 of an inch, and there. So let's make our holes. And I'm taking it right in this, putting those little circles I've made right in the center of where I want my holes to be. Pretty straight. Okay, what colour should we have for these ones? I'm going white, obviously, because I'm using white elastic. What's the main colour there? Oh, I haven't got a pink. All these colours and not a pink to be seen. Okay, let's go to the outside. Put these in. Lovely. Beautiful. Okay, let's grab our elastic and we're going to go through there, through the bottom and up through there. And we've got more elastic than we need, way more than we need. I don't want it too tight. Hey, stop. I don't want it too tight, but you don't want it loose. So okay, so we're left over right and under, and we're taking that right over left, right over left and under. I'm not sure if this is called a reef knot or not. I actually learned this in primary school, believe it or not. Okay, here is our beautiful journal. Pages can be added. If you purchase the papers, you can print out the same papers to add to it, and it can go fairly hefty. Got plenty of room there to add oodles of papers. Okay, I'm thinking of putting something on, like a pocket or something. We'll see. We'll think about it. I'll be back in just a tick while I give it some thought. You don't need to see my brain cogs working. Okay, I'm going to play around with my ephemera here. Not build it up too much. I've decided I'm going to put laughter here. Now I'm just creating a tuck spot. Just there. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut some of that off. I'm going to glue this onto here. This is the 250 GSM paper. And we're just going to have a little border around about that. Nice little journal spot. Or a photograph, you can pop a photo in there easily. There we go. I don't want to build up too much because when you're writing you don't want anything sort of, you know, bumping your pen. And then one on the back, and I'm looking at that one, Patience. It's got to be this orientation. Oh, they've got a small one and a large one. Well then. Gratitude. I like gratitude. Happiness. We'll go with patience because when you've got kids, you need a lot of patience. Trust me. I had 3 under 5. Just pop you there. Here we go. Nice little tuck spot in there. And I'm going to do the same with the soft cut. Not sure what what size I cut it, but it doesn't matter. And just pop that in there. Yeah, I'm going to use some butterflies and somewhere. Maybe on that card or not. Yeah, I'm going to put that butterfly in there. Just on there. It looks so pretty. Okay, on the back one, I've got more butterflies. There's a double butterfly. They're pretty with the butterflies. And I might add this little butterfly on here, or where should we put you? Just there. I'm not going to add any beading or anything. I'm just happy with how simply gorgeous this is. It doesn't need a closure. Perhaps it could have done for standing up. Perhaps it could have done. I can actually what have I got? I've got some right across the middle. No. I love it as it is. Now, of course, if I was doing an album, a memory book or mini album, whatever you want to call them, I would use a lot of my cut aparts. Some of those I'm just wondering if they could be used here as a little tuck spot. A little, yeah, why not? A belly band, that's what I'm looking for. Just a belly band. So up there and down there. And pop it in the middle. And then we will create a photo mat or journaling card that goes inside there. Why not? And I think I will use some of this for that. I'm just going to eyeball and then trim. Okay, which one is it? That one. Going to take my smallest and just round off those corners just a little. That's nice, like that. So let's do the same for this one. Inspire. Okay, it doesn't matter what size. We've got this one here, the cut off from that other piece. Oops-a-daisy. Oh, that's not my cardstock. Oops-a-daisy. Okay, we need some trimming here. That's all I'm going to do. That's all I need for this lovely album. I mean, journal. Okay. Okay, thank you for being with me. I hope you enjoyed the making of this beautiful journal. If I decide to add beads, I will easily add beads. In fact, not sure if I will or not. Easy enough to do. Okay, thank you very much for being with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have thoroughly enjoyed it, and creating these papers has been an absolute joy. I love them. Okay, keep well and stay safe. Bye for now.